Violet stared at Griffin, a million thoughts racing through her mind. The Oracle's power over the Alphas, the supposed top dogs of their world, was both fascinating and creepy. She'd always thought of the Oracle as just a busybody. But now, knowing this mysterious person held secrets strong enough to control even the toughest Alphas, made them seem way more dangerous than Violet had ever imagined. What kind of dirt were Griffin, Alaric, Roman, and Asher hiding? And if she somehow found out, what kind of chaos could she unleash by spilling the beans? Her lips tightened as she thought about the possibilities, her gaze drifting back to Griffin, who was watching her with a knowing look. "Whatever you're thinking," Griffin said, holding back the next bite of bread. "Trust me, it's a bad idea." Violet raised an eyebrow, sinking back into the pillows. "What do you think I'm thinking?" Griffin tilted his head, studying her. "You're a proud, tough girl, which means you're probably cooking up a scheme to contact the Oracle, dig up Asher's secrets, and get your revenge." She blinked, surprised. He'd nailed it. "Eleanor told you?" Griffin chuckled, shaking his head. "Eleanor didn't have to tell me anything. This is my place. I heard everything from the other room." "Oh," Violet mumbled, realizing what he meant. Heat crept up her cheeks as she realized he'd overheard everything. She tried to hide it by looking away, but Griffin's amused expression told her he'd noticed. Griffin tore off a piece of bread and held it to her lips. "Eat," he said simply, his voice firm but kinda sweet. Violet obeyed, taking the last bite. When Griffin ordered her the rest of the soup, she took it and drank it all down without a word. The warm soup felt good, but it didn't calm the questions and schemes swirling in her mind. Griffin had missed one key thing. What made him think Asher was the only one she wanted payback from? The memory of how he'd grabbed her roughly on her first day was still crystal clear. Even though he'd been nicer to her since then, she hadn't forgotten. And she definitely hadn't forgiven him. One way or another, he'd pay for that. Finished with her food, Violet reached for the dishes, but Griffin stopped her. "Let me handle that," he said, already grabbing the tray and the empty bowls. As he walked over to the desk to put them down, Violet spoke. "If I asked you to get revenge on Asher, would you do it for me?" Griffin froze mid-step, clearly surprised by the question. After a second, he went back to putting the dishes down, but the mood had changed. He returned to her bedside and sat down, his expression serious. "I could punch him," Griffin said evenly. "Beat him up bad. And while that might feel good for a second, trust me, physical pain doesn't bother Asher. But there's something that would." Intrigued, Violet tilted her head. "What is it?" she asked carefully. "You," Griffin replied without hesitation. Violet stared at him, disbelief etched on her face. "Are you kidding me right now?" But Griffin's gaze held steady. "Asher has developed a seriously unhealthy obsession with you, just like he did with Thea." "Who's Thea?" Violet interrupted, instantly curious. Griffin ignored her question, plowing right ahead. "I'm not allowed to tell you everything, but trust me, something big is about to go down at Linares. When it does, you'll have a choice to make. Choose my house." Violet's eyes narrowed, trying to figure out what he meant. "And why would I do that?" Griffin leaned in, his voice dropping to a low murmur. "Because nothing would tick Asher off more than losing you. If you're under my house, his control over you weakens big time, and I'll protect you from him. That's how you get your revenge, Violet. That's how you win." He frowned slightly. "At least for now." Violet didn't answer right away, mulling over his words. They were shrouded in secrecy and suspicion. Griffin mentioned Thea, and if she remembered correctly, Alaric had said it was happening again. Violet was nobody's fool. The pieces clicked into place. Thea had to be the one before her. The first time this happened. And now she was the second. It was creepy, to say the least. Until then, Violet said abruptly, cutting off her train of thought. Griffin started to argue, clearly not happy with her vague answer, but stopped, catching the warning in her tone. He couldn't push too hard or she'd start to distrust him. The silence hung heavy between them. Violet's eyes lingered on Griffin, taking him in. Objectively, he was hot. With broad shoulders, a strong jawline, and a powerful build, he was a dreamboat. "You're not as dumb as people think you are," she said, her tone neutral. Griffin raised an eyebrow. "I'm not as smart as Asher or Alaric either, or as sly as Roman." Violet's lips curved into a wry smile. "Asher is a psycho, Alaric is a jerk, and Roman is straight up bonkers." "And what am I?" he asked, his tone light, but a flicker of hope in his eyes. "You're strong." His eyes widened, hope flaring, only to dim when Violet added, "And a major bully." Griffin chuckled, the corners of his mouth turning up. "Fair enough." She tilted her head, a small smirk playing on her lips. "But you're a bully with a heart. I can't say the same for the others." Griffin's expression softened. "You're a tough nut to crack," he admitted, a hint of amusement in his voice. "Isn't that the fun part?" Violet shot back. "Don't guys like a challenge?" "Oh, we do." Griffin replied, his tone suggesting he was even more interested in her now. Violet felt her cheeks flush, and the memory of their earlier kiss popped into her head, making her even more flustered. "About that, I'm sorry about, kissing you," she stammered. "Don't be," Griffin said smoothly. "I liked it." Violet's jaw dropped. "You did?" Griffin shrugged. "Kinda. Not that I enjoyed kissing you when you were, tipsy, but it still felt good." He paused, a sheepish grin spreading across his face. "I think I should probably stop talking now." "Yeah, probably," Violet mumbled, her face burning. Trying to change the subject, Violet blurted out, "So, tell me about your family. You said you have 2 dads?" "Yup," Griffin replied, a note of pride in his voice. Violet's curiosity was piqued. "I bet the goddess paired your mom with 2 guys." Griffin chuckled. "No, my mom chose them herself." Violet's eyebrows shot up. "Whoa, seriously?" She was impressed. Another question popped into her head. "One of your dads has to be an alpha, right? How does he handle sharing your mom with another guy?" "That's where you're wrong," Griffin said, a knowing smile playing on his lips. "My mom's the alpha." "Wait, what?" Violet's jaw went slack. A woman was the alpha of the East House, the biggest werewolf pack in the East? That was insane. Werewolf packs were usually super old school, with men running the show. And yet, here was Griffin, the son of a female alpha. "As for how she manages her 2 husbands," Griffin added, "maybe you should seriously think about joining the East House to find out." Violet's cheeks burned, and her heart pounded in her chest. Griffin's words seemed to have a double meaning, and the way he was looking at her didn't help. For a second, her eyes flicked down to his lips, and the air crackled with tension. It felt like they might kiss again. But just as the moment reached its peak, Griffin broke the spell. He stood up, fidgeting a little. "You should get some sleep. Night, Violet." He ducked into the other room, closing the door gently behind him. Violet sat on the bed, heart hammering, thoughts bouncing around in her head like ping-pong balls. What just happened?